welcome to another day of the Way of Compassionate Autonomy. My name is Joel, and this is my beloved...
My name is Kaylee, hello.
And we are here sharing the U.F.O. R.E.A.L G.E.M portal, which is the radiant embodied activation, light, galactic earth miracle to the infinite power. So it can be anything like a message, what else? Model, magic, music, all kinds of fun stuff.
Mantra.
Man,
Mother.
mother. Mathematics. Monkey. And I think today's occult is the monkey, right? So the portal is the protective orb of release, transformation, alignment, and liberation into E.T.S of U.F.O, which is...
Enter the sun of unity, freedom, oneness.
Awesome. And enter the sun is to enter into the light of everlasting happiness, just like the sun. So you enter into the center of the sun and you become the sun. So you enter into the sun within you, you become the sun. That is the light of all of existence. In the calendar, it's the universal fire. This is the 20th seal. It's the ultimate enlightenment. That is the light of everlasting happiness that pulses with love, which is the heart, the process, and the output is infinite patterns of
Harmony.
So the mind is happiness. That's the sun. Heart, love. That's the heart. That's the infinite pulse. The body output is harmony. Okay. So today...
We have to start off with our prayer.
Very good, yes. We must start with the prayer and oath of...
Unity, freedom.
My life is my precious gift to experience the grace of God that is eternal mercy and redemption for all. With humility, forgiveness, compassion, and gratitude, I live fully aligned with the will of God that is perfect love, happily balanced and whole in peace and harmony with loving kindness from my heart. All I receive and all I give is for mutual empowerment, interdependence, and selflessness for the betterment of all. In heaven, on earth, and in all realms, all thanks, all praise, all glory to God, the one love. I am safe. So there's the cross of safety. I am free. There's the infinite pulse, the pattern of the eagle. I am loved and I am happy. That is the flower of happiness. In unity and freedom. Those are the two galactic spirals. Amen. Thank you, God. So, speaking of the two keys of unity and freedom, we have our beloved message that comes from the bridge, which is Christ the special messenger. That is the heart. Process of love, right here from Matthew 16:18-20. Nice and loud, please.
And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So that last part, why do we add that last part in?
Because we don't want anyone thinking that we think that we are Jesus or the Messiah. Right?
Yes. That is the experience for me, is I am not the Messiah. Not any one being is the Messiah or the Christ that is the Savior that's coming down to save anyone. Believe what you want, but that's not my reality, I guess. I believe that we all have Christ's light within us. We are more along the philosophy of the unity churches, and where we believe that we all carry the light of Christ. It is a Christ consciousness, and that all beings have the opportunity to awaken to the Christ within. As through the process of enlightenment that comes within, you go in and simultaneously out, but you have to go in first, and that's where you awaken to the light. That's the Christ within. That is the heart. So thank you for that. Today's 13 moon calendar again we are on kin 210, which is the white lunar dog. Power, action, and essence of lunar, which is the second tone, are polarize, stabilize, and challenge. The power and action and essence of dog, which is the 10th seal, are heart, love, and loyalty. So put all together, it is:
I polarize in order to love, stabilizing loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So again, that galactic activation portal, enter me, is that portal of the way of compassionate autonomy within. And that is the infinite center point of your being. So you have to go inward into that innermost gate, which the locks of the closed heart are. What are the two locks?
Imprisonment and abandonment.
And then what are the keys? What's the first key for the first lock?
Unity.
So imprisonment becomes?
Unity and
then,
safety.
Yep, and safety. And abandonment becomes?
Freedom.
Right. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So, we are in the 17th wave spell, the second tone of this wave spell. This wave spell is about purification, flow, the universal water. The Galactic Earth mission step for today of the second tone is to identify the challenge. What are the obstacles? So, what are the obstacles that you're facing right now? What are the main challenges as you go through this 13-day wave spell? Again, we are in the second day. It's a white day, so it's always the second day of a harmonic. Of harmonic 53, self-existing process, formulate, free will of form. So we are in the second day of the 4-day harmonic. In 2 days will be the yellow human, right? So that's why it is formulate, free will of form. Self-existing is formulate. Free will is the yellow human, and form is the essence of self-existing. It is codon 21, arousing vision, way of wielding power conforms to truth, and we are on lines 3 and 4, which are the mind, binary letter of mind, and the I-Ching is biting through, or discernment. So again, we are on lines 3 and 4. So we'll have a reading from the I-Ching again. The way of compassionate autonomy. Safety is unity. Freedom is freedom. So in the I-Ching, firmness. Safety becomes firmness, unity. That's the firmness aspect. And the flexibility is freedom. So we can use safety and freedom to help navigate through the I-Ching to find that perfect balance of the pulse of love, which is the perfect balance of harmony. So, Kaylee is going to read and we'll discuss part of these first lines on how it can help us navigate through this harmonic.
3 yin. Biting on dried meat, running into poison. There is a little shame, but no blame. Explanation. On top of 2, the conscious perception is a bit higher than those 2 and is a stage further advanced than the 2. This is like biting dried meat. Meat is inside skin. When meat is dried, it is necessary to tear into it to taste the flavor. In this third place, though one is advancing, one has not yet attained the real. It seems to be right, but isn't. If one acts in error, it will surely bring on trouble, like biting into dried meat and coming upon poison. So if the will is strong, but the nature is weak, one will not be able to accomplish things, yet neither will one fail. Though there is a little shame, after all one can be without blame. This is investigating principle and gradually penetrating.
Thank you. So this is investigating principle in, what was the last part?
And gradually penetrating.
Okay, and gradually penetrating. This could be a time where we're really trying to dig down into the central truth of something. And it's difficult as we, for instance, towards that centermost of our being, as we dig deeper and deeper and try to find the truth of anything, you're going to run into obstacles. You're going to bite. In this case, it says biting into the dried meat, or biting into poison. That's just coming across some difficulties as you're trying to work your way through something. to find the core meaning of something. So in this case, ultimately, we're biting through into the centermost, the truth, so to speak. You'll find that the purpose of the way of compassionate autonomy is that you are safe enough to do that. You're safe enough to go inward. You're not so safe that you're imprisoned, so there's always the balance of freedom. So that's where the pulse of I am safe and I am free comes in, and that you have that pulse of love, which is like a wiggle room. And as you continue to go inward to find there's more truths inside each being that they're here to share that nobody else can share. Finding those truths are very difficult, but never give up. We talk about if you go back to the steps of happiness, the first step, the U.F.O step of happiness, is to be brave. Without that, there's no moving further. The second step is actually to find your truth and express your truth. Express whatever truth is according to your absolute truth. That's having integrity with your absolute truth. Those are difficult, but you have to be brave enough to do that. The guidance of the U.F.O, Golden Guide of Harmony, do unto yourself and all others what makes all feel safe, free, loved, and happy, is just it's a guidance to be able to make that journey for you as gentle as possible. As you discover whatever truth is your truth, you're having a difficult time expressing it or trying to either decipher it or to express it in a harmonious way, the Golden Guide of the U.F.O can help you. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult. So no matter what setbacks you have, you're not alone. We're here to help because we're all these individual beings that are here to collectively express our own individual truth yet stay in harmony. And no other being can say what the truth is to any other being. Now this way of compassionate autonomy is just a general blanket of help to support the discovery of potentially infinite truths that are in every being, that nobody else can tell that other being what that truth is. Sounds impossible, but that's the Galactic Earth mission.
4 Yang, or Yang. Biting bony, dried meat, one gets the wherewithal to proceed. It is beneficial to work hard and be upright. This leads to good results. Explanation. Dwelling in the body of light, in parentheses, fire, above 3, investigation of principle has advanced a stage beyond those 3. This is like biting bony, dried meat. Bony, dried meat is meat on the bone. It is sinewy and bony, and when it is dried, it is not easy to strip off the meat. If one does not penetrate cuttingly and go in deeply, one cannot see reality. In terms of representation, this is getting the wherewithal to proceed. While in terms of principle, this indicates the benefit of hard work in the correct manner. The benefit of hard work in the correct manner is that one can forcibly discern what one could not discern, attaining deep realization, penetrating every subtlety so as to be able to strip away all falsehood, which only seems to be right, and thus find the reality with lucid clarity. When one clearly understands action, one's actions are all bound to lead to good results. This is investigating principle and seeing truth.
Wow. Thank you. That's a lot. That is a lot of information to process. We'll keep it a little bit quick, but the general idea again is to never give up, keep enduring. The U.F.O, we say we endure in order to love. That brings up the white lunar dog. This is a perfect symbol of how we make it through difficulties. Enduring in order to love. So here we polarize in order to love. What does that mean? It means you have to deal with your reflection all the time. So you're always sitting back in the polarization to try to discover the truth. You have to have that separation to have some kind of discernment. And we're stabilizing loyalty, which is remaining loyal to your truth, remaining loyal to, in this instance, to God, that voice of harmony. That's what we're listening to, whatever you call it. We call it the galactic organizing dynamic or the good organizing dynamic. We call it the voice of the beehive. We call it that voice of harmony that is our collective voice, yet we are individual expressions of it. So we're all following that voice of harmony, yet we all have a part to play that no other being can demand or command another being to do it, if that makes sense. So how do we do the impossible? How do each of us have our own individual truth, yet exist in harmony with all other beings that all have their own individual truth too? Well, the common bridge between us is love. I polarize in order to love. So we are actually separating out from each other in order to love one another. Love is to try to achieve that balance of safety and freedom, compassionate autonomy. And that's how we can get along interdependent love and get along in harmony. I seal the process of the heart. That is the process of the heart. That's the process of the mind of happiness. Process of the heart is love. And the output is what?
Harmony.
Harmony. Oftentimes it's very challenging to try to exist like this, but this is the main, according to what the message that I am receiving, we are receiving. The main lesson of the human life is harmony. That's what the measure of intelligence is for beings, is how much they embody selflessness in advanced levels of harmony. So you could call it like harmonic intelligence. And the way is love. It's not about how intelligent one individual is and how smart they are and how much power they can have, how much fame and fortune and power. That's actually not a measure of true intelligence. True intelligence is how much one can embody harmony and communicate it and understand it for the betterment of all beings, not for their own self. And that's what the higher intelligent E.T.S beings or extraterrestrial or any other angels or anything that's closer to God understands harmony more and more and more and more. And selflessness. And they understand compassion, and that without compassion there can be no freedom. They understand that the only way through is through the center of the being, and to live according to compassion and selflessness for the betterment of all beings. That's how they exist. That's how higher intelligent beings exist. They understand life more, and they endure for life. Whereas the human, we get temptation. We're tempted to want to be selfish beings that only work for our own selfish, self-centered gain, and we forget about the betterment of all, and we get lost in the conditioning, and we're conditioned by fear, imprisonment, abandonment, and so on and so forth. So as you're discovering this truth along with your own individual truths, you're going to come across difficulty, but keep biting through, keep enduring. The more you see overlapping patterns of understanding reality to the Bible, to the Quran, this message is just another message of unifying all the paths, because all paths have their own truth. No one path is any better. We're here to let all beings be individual, supported and respected branches of the tree. Those that don't understand that, embody that, they will commit suicide and kill. The Quran truly doesn't want they don't want their followers to commit suicide and kill, but that's the extreme if we don't get along in harmony. So we let people that want to practice harmonious Islam, harmonious Christianity, harmonious Buddhism, we can all be given the opportunity to harmoniously express and walk our path to God. We can be fine, but we can't command or demand any other being to believe what we believe. That's a part of this message, is to allow all beings to believe what they want to believe, and let's get along instead of killing each other and ourselves. Endure through the path of the U.F.O, Golden Guide of Harmony. That's an example of how we can do it. Do unto yourself and all others what makes all feel safe, so we're being compassionate with each other, free, so we're not imprisoning each other. That means we're loving one another, and that we can all be individual happy beings in collective harmony. It's just a guidance. How we do it is up to us. It is a light of hope. I am not the creator of it. I'm just a servant, and I'm no better, no higher than anybody else. We're all our own individual pieces of the perfection of God. We are here to help all beings try to exist in harmony so we don't kill ourselves and each other off. That's the mission. To kind of reflect back to the harmonic 53 self-existing process, formulate free will of form. So we are talking about the formulation of form. The yellow human aspect is free will. All beings have free will. When it says the truth is I am safe versus the illusion of I am imprisoned, technically speaking, you can't even say that that's a truth. What this is the hope that we will choose that to be our truth. I can't say that the truth isn't I am in prison. I can't say that that's the actual truth. I am imprisoned or I am safe. That's a choice. What truth do you want? I'm choosing to try to guide us to say we are safe with one another instead of imprisoned with one another. But that's free will to all beings. Beings have free will to kill themselves or others. So if being perceives that my sense of safety to try to give another being safety, if they feel imprisoned, they're going to want to kill me. And that's their choice. I'm choosing not to kill. I would rather be killed than kill, but we don't just lay down and let beings kill. We choose to wrestle to eternity, meaning hand-to-hand martial arts where you would work to a submission for a being. That's just an example, and this information is on our website, Unity&Freedom.org. It's a practical path to happiness, love, and harmony. It goes back to Africa. So learn how to create your own individual or 12-person collective church. You pay back to Africa, Native Americans, and you vote how to decide how you want to responsibly give your money back. We're just messengers trying to do our best to live responsibly. There's a target income that we should all make, but it's your choice. If you want to make millions of dollars, to us that's living on the extreme. If you want to make nothing, that's the extreme. So we strive to make income-wise middle of the road. That's the middle way. It's a practical way that we can actually try to get there. We don't have all the solutions. We just have ideas, and we're all trying to wake people up to come together. So form a 12-person group like a jury. Vote where you send your money. There's more information on Unity&Freedom.org about all this stuff. There is embodiment practices. If you can pay for the embodiment practices, if you have nothing to pay, it's a donation. You can take it for free. There's also the truth of whatever you give, honestly, is what you're going to receive. So if you have enough resources and you're not giving, you won't receive anything. You actually will not be allowed to remember. So that's the thing. You might choose to navigate selfishly and you're thinking you're getting away with something. You won't get away with anything. You always will have to face the truth. And that truth ends up being either the light of everlasting happiness or the fire of eternal hell, which is basically you caught in your own judgment. All beings can choose their own way. No being can choose for another being. But we're here to help guide, and we have to do it ourselves first. We live by example and then pave the way for other beings to try to have a more gentle path, and that's where we are. So you have to do the embodiment practices like the healing empowerment drumming, meditation practices. Those will help support you to awaken. It helps you go inward to the truth and simultaneously exist in harmony with your external matrix, which is the external co-created reality that you exist in. And ultimately, we are liberated as individual happy beings within the collective of liberated beingness of a bunch of infinite happy beings, all liberated. And you can call it electrons and protons and all the stuff that we experience. You could consider it as like a bunch of infinitely liberated beings communicating back to us. And we're all communicating to it. And we co-create our experience of reality based on the state of our inner being. That's my truth, and I'm here to just express to help all other beings to try to exist in harmony. Okay, thank you for allowing us to share. Remember, don't give up. Follow the 180-degree rule that will allow you to get through anything. Never give up. Don't kill yourself or others, and just endure in order to love. And it gets better over time. And ultimately, we wish you to have a magical day in the miracle.
In the miracle.
Now,